Girls, look around. We are a family.
All right, guys, so Big Foster and Lil Foster. So the first thing I want to talk about is this messy love triangle. Big Foster goes out and he basically steals his son's woman. Are we going to see some sort of conclusion to this whole drama, this dynamic that's going on between them?
Well, that's assuming that Big Foster is going to be back.
That's true. I'm assuming.
Yeah, okay. Well, let's assume that he comes back.
Okay.
I'm not sure you'll see a resolution, but I can imagine that you will see a lot involving the dynamics between these three people.
Right, right. So Lil Foster is aware that Gwen tried to kill his father. Is that a heavy burden for him to bear, and are we going to see that play out this season?
I don't think that it's that big of a burden for him.
Right.
I think that he's probably, he's sort of, separated himself from the Farrells about as much as he can. So when they, ended up with each other, he had to kind of make those concessions real early on. But yeah, that's about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So one thing I noticed with Big Foster is that he keeps going on these power trips. He had one when he killed his mother, and then, he got with Gwen. Is he gonna have another power trip this season? If, assuming he comes back, can we expect more of that?
Big Foster is about survival, his own survival and the clan survival. And those are foremost in his mind. So whatever comes out of that, he is willing to do almost anything.
Right.
And I think you will see possibly him do almost anything.
Okay. And with Lil Foster, he had some demons. At one point, we saw him.
What demons?
Well, he was feeling a little bad. He tried to commit suicide.
Yeah, that doesn't mean he's got demons.
Okay.
Twice. You tried twice.
Yes, unsuccessfully.
Unsuccessfully.
Maybe the demons prevented him from doing it.
Is he going to be in a better state this season? How is that going to play out?
No, he's not going to end up in a better place. What kind of show would we have then? No, he gets worse. He gets worse. He's like Job. He's like everything gets worse.
Yes.
He gets sort of isolated and separated from the rest of his family, running into some trouble down in town real early on. So he's going to kind of have to earn his stripes as an individual this season, and then I can't tell you much more. Yeah.
Okay. This is something I've been asking everyone today. So the Farrell clan, they seem like they're like back in time, right? So why do you think this is resonating with viewers? These are people who are different than characters that we're seeing on TV these days. Why do you think people are really interested to see what's going on with them?
That's a really interesting question. I think I think that anytime there's sort of an antiquated, version of a character, that it's Shakespearean. Why does Shakespeare work? Because it's universal. Yeah. And I think that the Farrells tap into that, and it's a wonderful dichotomy that you have these very sort of primitive, savage, primal people, but there's a nobility, there's a royalty, there's a deference to each other and to nature that you don't see in other shows. But that's the only reason that I can think is that there's sort of universal archetypes with a twist to them.
And they're also rooted. You have the town below, Thomas, plays the sheriff, who's just fantastic. He just has such truth to him. You get that world up there rooted in that kind of truthful world down below. And it's a great combination.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, we look forward to tuning into the new season.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh Lord, please don't let me be misunderstood.